Welcome everyone. Through this video, I am going to discuss about the chapter Measure of Dispersion. You know, only mean deviation and standard deviation are included in our JEE main syllabus as well as West Bengal joint. I have already stated it is very easy to secure 4 marks from this part. Every student can answer this question. So, look, before we start, we need some basic definitions. So, we have considered it in part A. This is our part B. So, look, some basic definitions. So, mean deviation. Mean deviation. So, mean deviation from average. This may be from mean deviation from mean or mean deviation from median. So, let x1, x2, xn are n observations, and A be the mean value. Then mean deviation equals to 1 by n summation modulus xi minus a. I equals to 1 to n. So, if a equals to x bar, then it is mean deviation from mean. If a equals to median, then it is mean deviation from median. Now, two important properties similar like of standard deviation. Two important properties. Number one, it is independent of change of origin. It is independent of change of origin. And number two, it depends on change of scale. So, same as that of standard deviation, we have already discussed it in class 1. Now, mean deviation and standard deviation has unit. If original variables are given in terms of centimeter, then unit is centimeter. If it is in terms of kg, so unit is kg. But if we have two sets of observations, suppose there are 30 students and we want to compare their height and weight. So look, height in terms of centimeter and weight in terms of kg. So we cannot compare them. So we need an idea of unitless measure. So that is why we define variation, coefficient of variation. So CV, coefficient of variation. So its definition is sigma by h bar into 100. Look, sigma and X bar have same unit. So it is cancel out and this. We get unitless. CV, coefficient of variance, it is unitless. Suppose if we get two series, we calculate CV1 of first series and CV2 of second series. Second set and first set, that is first series. So if CV1 greater than CV2, then we say first series is more variable, that is less consistent. If it is more variable, then less consistent. And the converse one, if CV1 less than CV2, then it is less variable and hence consistent. So what is CV1? For two series, CV1 sigma by X bar, suppose into 100. And what is CV2? Sigma 2 by X bar into 100. If two series have same mean, then we calculate this ratio CV1 by CV2 equals to sigma 1 by sigma 2. If X bar, two series have same average, then we calculate CV1 and CV1 by CV2. If sigma 1 greater than sigma 2, if sigma 1 greater than sigma 2, so CV1 is greater than CV2. Therefore, first series is more variable, that is less consistent. So we need this idea. So let us discuss some problems. So this part is very simple. We need some formula only. So look, for two data sets, each of size 5, the variances are 4 and 5 and corresponding means are 2 and 4 respectively. The variance of combined data. So we need here a formula. There are two sets. So variance of combined data, that is square, sigma square. So we have to recall this formula. N1 sigma square into sigma 2 square. Number of observations. N1 D1 square into D2 square by N1 plus N2 by N1 plus N2. Now what is D1? D1 is x1 bar minus x bar and D2 is x2 bar minus x bar. Now what is x bar? X bar is combined mean. So this is again formula of N1 x bar N2 x2 bar by N1 plus N2. So our main aim is to find combined mean first. Then using x bar and we can get D1 and D2. So this is probable question. Look here, two sets, each of size n. So n1 equals to n2 equals to 5. N1 equals to N2 equals to 5. So what is H bar? 5 into means are 2 and 4. So 2, 5 into 4 by 5 plus 5. So if you put the values, this is 10. So 10 plus 20. So this is average mean is 3. X bar. So what is D1? D1 is X1 bar. What is X1 bar? X1 bar is 2. So 2 minus 3 minus 1. And D2 is 4 minus 3 equals to 1. Now, for two data sets, each of size n, variances are, so all are given. So sigma 1 square 4, sigma 2 square 5. N1 equals to N2 equals to 5. We get, look, D1, D2. We have already got D1 and D2. So putting this value, we get combined standard deviation. So this will take time because look, this is the formula. You have to calculate D1, D2 and X bar. Then you have to calculate this part. So this is problem number 1. So calculate and you find answer. So answer will be 11 by 2. Answer is 11 by 2. So you write this one as 11 by 2. 11 by 2. So now problem number 2. Now look, these problems are very simple. You need idea of, you need only formula. So CV equals to 60, sigma equals to 24. Find the mean. So CV, sigma by X bar into 100. So this is CV 60. What is sigma? 24. And what is X bar? X bar you have to calculate, then 100. So X bar equals to 2400 by 60. So 40. So let us verify again. CV equals to 60. This is 24. 24 by X bar into 100. So 60 into X bar. So 60 into X bar. 60 into X bar equals to this. So 24. So 6 cancel. 6 into 4. So 40 is our CV. So answer is 40. But look here, 40 is not given. So 40 is not given. So you take D as 40. So this one. So look again. CV. CV equals to this. Putting we get S bar. So what is S bar? S bar is mean. Mean is 40. Now problem number 3. So look, there are two firms A and B and their average weekly wages, average weekly wages are given and this is rupees 52 point, rupees 52 and it's also rupees 52. Number of workers 586, this is 648. Which firm pays larger amount and which show greater variability? There are two parts. So look, to compare variability, we calculate VA by VB, and we know VA by VB equals to VA by VB equals to sigma 1 by sigma 2. If x1 bar equals to x2 bar equals to x. They have same mean. So sigma 1. So this is 10 by 100, root over 100 by root over 1 to 1. So 10 by 11. So VB by VA equals to 11 by 10. So VB greater than VA. So firm B is more, shows greater variability. Firm B shows greater variability. That is less consistent. Now, which firm pays out larger amount? So, in this case, so total payment so look of A in which equals to 52 into 586, and total payment of B 52 into 643. So this is obviously in terms of rupees. So which firm pays out larger amount? So obviously this one is greater. So B firm pays out larger amount. Now we consider these problems. Look, problem number 7. All are problem of JEE Main. So the mean and standard deviation of 10 observations are 20 and 2 respectively. So sigma equals to 2 and H bar equals to 20. Each of these observations is multiplied by P. So y equals to x into P multiplied by P and then reduced by Q. So this one, y equals to xp minus q. New variable is y, original is x. P not equals to 0, q not equals to 0. Now look, if the new mean and standard deviation become half of the original value, so this is sigma x. So what is sigma y? Equals to 1, and sigma, if new mean, so new mean equals to what? Y bar equals to 10. Half standard deviation 2, so this is 1. So we have y equals to this. So what is y bar? Y bar equals to x bar into p minus q. So what is y bar? 10 equals to H bar is 20p and minus q. So this is equation number 1. Now, from this relation, we can write sigma y equals to mod p into sigma x. Mod p into sigma x. So, what is sigma y? It is 1 mod p and sigma x. Sigma, this is always positive. So, sigma x is 2. So, mod p equals to half. So, p equals to plus minus half. So, p equals to half. If we consider p equals to half, then 1 implies 10 equals to 10 minus q. So, q equals to 0. But q not equals to 0. So, this case is not possible. Now, if we take p equals to minus half, then what is q? P is equal to minus half. So 10 equals to minus 10 minus q. Q equals to minus 20. Q equals to minus 20. So then value of q equals to minus 20. Q equals to minus. So look, very simple problem. This is relation, and from this relation you have to find mean and standard deviation using formula. So standard deviation is independent of change of origin, so no q, only it depends on q. Now, problem number 9. So, all problems are given in description table. So, look, if both mean and standard deviation of 50 observations, x1 to 50 is 60. So, mean, so x bar equals to summation xi by n. So, both mean and standard deviation. So 60 summation xi by 50. So what is summation xi? Summation xi is 800. Now one condition given, the mean and standard deviation. Standard deviation also 60. So sigma square, shortcut method, n square. N into summation xi square minus summation xi whole square. So 16 square equals to n square is 50 square. So 50 into summation xi square minus, what is summation xi? 800 whole square. Now 50 square into 16 square plus 800 whole square equals to 50 into summation xi square. So summation xi square equals to, so you divide it by 50. So you get 50 into 16 square. 150 is cancelled. 800 by 50. So 800 into 800 by 50. So this is 16 into 800. 16 into 800. So 16 into 800 common. 16 into 50 common. So this is 16. 16 and 16 common, 50. So if you divide it by 50, so this is again 16. So 16 into 50, 800 into 32. This is sigma I square. Now look, then mean of this we have to calculate. Mean means sum of observations by number of observations. So mean of variable xi minus 4 whole square equals to 1 by n summation xi minus 4 whole square. So 1 by n. So what is n? N is 50. Summation xi square. 8 into xi plus 15. So look, 1 by 50 summation xi square. 8 outside. 1 by 50 summation xi. And this is 16 by 50 summation 1. So putting value of xi square, this one, summation xi and summation 1 is 50. So we get 1 by 50. What is summation xi square? 800 into 32. Minus 8 by 50. What is summation xi? Summation xi is 800 plus 16 summation 1 is this. So simplifying we get result. So this one is 16. 50, 30. So 16. So this is again 16. So 16 common. 32. 16 common. 32 minus 8 plus 1. So 16 into 33 minus 8. So 16 into 25. So 400. So what is the new mean? What is the new mean with respect to the variable? We get this one as 400. So look, from the given condition, we get summation xi and sigma square is given summation d. So putting values, we get this as 400. So 400 is answer B. Now look at the problem number 16. Similar like problem. Look, it is given two-stage form only. Summation xi minus 5 equals to 10. Summation xi square minus 5 whole square is 40. Mu and lambda are the mean and variance with respect to xi minus 1, xi minus 3, that is x1 minus 3, x2 minus 3. Then lambda mu equals to so problem number 15. Now it is given summation xi minus 5 equals to 10. Summation xi minus 5 equals to 10. So what is summation xi? Minus 5 into summation 1 equals to 10. So summation xi. So how many observations? 1 to 10 minus 5 into 10 equals to 10. Summation 1 is 10. So we get summation xi equals to 60. So if we divide it by number of observations, so what is number of observations? So 10. So 60 by 10. So x bar is 6. x bar is 6. Now, it is given that, look, you have looked lambda equals to mean with respect to xi minus 3. Lambda is mean with respect to the variable xi minus 3. So y equals to, if we consider lambda y equals to xi minus 3. So what is y bar? Y bar equals to x bar minus 3. Y bar equals to x bar minus 3. So this is 6. So y bar equals to 3. Y bar equals to 3. So lambda is the mean with mu is the mean with respect to xi minus 3. So this equals to mu. So mu equals to 3. Mu equals to 3. Now it is given that mu and lambda be the mean and variance. Mu and lambda be the mean and variance. Then find mu comma lambda. So from the above data, so look, here variable is xi minus 5. So we can find standard deviation using formula. Now we have to find standard deviation with respect to variable xi minus 3. Here origin is shifted xi minus 5 to xi minus 3. And we know standard deviation is independent of change of origin. So if we can calculate standard deviation of the first series, then standard deviation of second series will also be 10. So what is standard deviation of the first series? Look, if we calculate xi minus 5, so suppose this is z. So what is sigma z? Summation of, so write n square, n into summation z square minus summation z whole square. Now n square, this is 10 square, n is 10. So summation z is xi minus 5 whole square. So this is 40 minus summation z is xi minus 5 z whole square. This is 10 square. So this is sigma square z. So 400 minus 100 by 10 square. So this is, so what is sigma z? Sigma z equals to sigma of x minus 5 equals to 3. Now we know. So what is, we have to calculate. This is not sigma, sigma square. Sigma square x minus 3 equals to sigma square x minus 5. Because we have shifted the origin only. So no change. So what is mu and lambda? Mu is 3, lambda is 3. Now look at the concept. So if only we can find lambda, then it is very simple. From the given data, you can find sigma square z, and it is independent of change of origin. So that is 3. But look, mean depends on change of origin. That is why we first find x bar. Then with respect to y bar, this is 3. Now we consider last 3 problems. Look, problem number 10. If the data x1, x2, xn is such that The mean of first 4 is 11 and mean of remaining is 16 and sum of the squares of all terms is 2000, then standard deviation of the data. So x1 mean of first 4. So it is given x1, x2, x3, x4 by 4. First 4 is 11. So what we are getting? X1, x2, x3, x4 equals to 44. Now, mean of the remaining is 16. So x5, x6, x10 equals to 16 by 6. x5 to x6. So what we are getting? x5, x6 dot dot x10 equals to 96. So if we add these 1 and 2, so we get summation xi. So 1 plus 2 implies x1, x2 dot dot x10 equals to 44 plus 96. So summation xi equals to 140. So it is not given directly, but very simple to calculate. And sum of the squares of all terms. So summation xi square equals to 2000. Find the standard deviation. So standard deviation whole square. So this is n square, n into summation xi square minus summation xi whole square. So what is n? 10 into 2000 minus summation xi is 140. So 140 square by 10 square. Now 10 square is cancelled out. This is 200 and this is 14 into 14. So 196. So what is standard deviation? Standard deviation equals to 2. Standard deviation whole square equals to 4. So this is 2. So standard deviation is 2. Now problem number 12. Look, this is given in two-state form, but very simple one. So look, here two conditions are given. So number one is xi plus 1 whole square equals to 9n. So call it 1. I equals to 1 to n. And second one, I equals to 1 to n. Xi minus 1 whole square equals to 5n. So call it 2. Find the standard deviation of the data. So what is standard deviation? 1 by n summation xi minus x bar whole square with this one. Now look, this is plus, this is minus. So if we subtract 1 minus 2, then summation of I equals to 1 to n. So x1 plus 1 whole square, xi minus 1 whole square equals to 4n. So look, I think all are cancelled out. This is xi, so 4xi. I think this is only 4xi equals to 4n. Now, summation xi equals to n. Summation xi equals to n. 4 outside, 4 cancel. Now what is x bar? So x bar equals to xi by n. Summation xi by n. So n by n 1. So what is x bar? X bar is 1. X bar is 1. So from these two data, if we subtract, we get x1 square plus 1 is cancelled. Summation xi is n. So if you divide it by n, we get x bar equals to this. Now what is standard deviation? You look 1 by n summation xi minus x bar whole square total loop. So 1 by n. So xi minus 1 whole square. Now from given condition, this one is given as 5n. This one is given as 5n. So this is 5n by 5 total load. So root 5. Root 5. So standard deviation is root 5. So no need of calculating summation xi square. You can alternatively also calculate it adding 1 and 2, but this is the simplest one. So we have considered many problems. So 8 problems here today. In part 2, in part 1, 8 problems. And you complete the rest of the problems. So if you complete all these problems, I am sure that you will get 4 marks problem common in each competitive exam. So I will solve more problems in my third video, that is part 3. So thank you.